Good afternoon, and welcome to the Lower Bucks campus of Bucks County Community College. I'm Stephanie Shamlett, president of the college, and it is my distinct honor to welcome you here today for the debate between the two Pennsylvania 8th Congressional District candidates. Civic engagement is vitally important to our democracy. We're pleased to host this debate once again, having done so for every congressional election since 2004. The Lower Bucks campus truly embraces our role as a vibrant center for community engagement. I would especially like to acknowledge all of the students here today. We have students from Holy Ghost Prep, somewhere. There we go, back there. And Bristol Borough High School, we're the students from Bristol Borough. As well as, of course, Bucks County Community College students and members of our community at large. I hope all of you have come here to listen, to learn, and then to go vote. It is now my pleasure to introduce our moderator, Mr. Bill Pezza, political science and history instructor here at Bucks County Community College. Thank you.
Hello again. Today, October 13th, is Metastatic Breast Cancer Awareness Day. I hope that every congressman elected next month across this nation will bring a passion to Washington to provide the resources to combat this as well as other devastating diseases. Welcome to another in a series of congressional debates that the Lower Bucks campus of Bucks County Community College has sponsored in every primary and general election, as Stephanie said, since 2004. We are proud to play a role in what we repeatedly describe as a celebration of democracy. We take this responsibility quite seriously, and we're equally proud of the audience decorum exhibited in the past and the decorum we know we will have today. I want to recognize our campus executive director, James Sell, and our director of security, Dennis McCauley, as well as our technical crew for their work in preparation for this event. This debate is being broadcast statewide by PCN, the Pennsylvania Cable Network, as well as nationwide by C-SPAN. Debate questions were solicited from our faculty, and the final selections and formation of the questions were made by me. After reviewing the long list of potential topics, I concluded that what we really need is a 7-hour debate. However, we'll do the best we can with the 75 minutes allocated. There will be 2-minute opening statements from each candidate with a 1-minute follow-up. We will then move through the 9 questions with a possible 10th if time permits, with the same 2-minute, 1-minute format. There will also be 1-minute closing remarks. The speaking order was determined by coin flip. 2 of our students in the second row are our timekeepers. When there's 30 seconds left in a segment, we'll see a yellow sign briefly. And then you can put it down. And then when there's no time left, the red sign will go up, at which time you should finish your sentence and close your remarks. We ask that there be no comments, applause, or noise of any kind, except now, as we welcome our candidates to the stage, Democrat Steve Santarsiero and Republican Brian. Before we begin, let me briefly editorialize. I will be voting in my 13th presidential election. I started when I was 10. And I've never experienced the low level of discourse that we have seen in the presidential contest this year. The inflammatory rhetoric is unprecedented, and as an educator, I'm concerned about the message it sends to students and young people, some paying attention for the first time. I want them to know that this is not the norm for presidential politics. I'm confident that these two gentlemen we have before us today will demonstrate what meaningful political discourse should be like. Firm, tough even, passionate maybe, but always respectful. In the precious time we have together today, we will focus on issues of substance that may separate these two highly qualified individuals enough so that we can cast an intelligent vote. Our opening statement based on coin toss is from Brian Fitzpatrick.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Steve, for participating. To all the young people in the audience, this election is about you, and I hope you get involved, despite what Mr. President said earlier about the vitriol that's unfortunately taken over a big part of this election. Don't lose faith, because we need you. We need you involved in the process. You need your voice to be heard. Whatever that voice is, make sure you voice it. My name is Brian Fitzpatrick, and I come to you from a very different place. 14 years in the FBI, but we'll get to that in a second. I am a lifelong resident of Bucks County, call it Bucks County, in fact, Lower Bucks County home. My entire life, I grew up right down the road in Snowball Gate in Middletown Township. It's where my parents still reside. And grew up here, went to grade school here, attended the University of Levittown, high school at Bishop Egan, college at LaSalle University. And I went to Penn State for my JD MBA degree. I am an Eagle Scout here. I am a certified EMT here. I am a licensed CPA here. I'm a licensed attorney here. And I had the honor to serve my country as a federal prosecutor here in this district, prosecuting violent drug and gun crimes. And for the past 14 years, I had the honor of a lifetime to serve my country in a very, very significant national security role with what I consider to be one of the finest organizations on this planet, the FBI. It's a job I miss dearly. It was the hardest decision in my life to leave that place, and I miss the people there. But I left for one reason and one reason only, because like everybody in this room, I love my country. And I wanted to step forth and do my part to offer my background, my credentials, my experience, and what I believe to be the two most pressing issues facing our country today: growing our economy and defending our homeland. I started my career as a CPA. I made a career of balancing books, balancing budgets, and creating jobs. And as an FBI special agent, keeping our country safe from counterterrorism threats, counterintelligence threats, cybersecurity threats, border security threats, all the threats that face our nation. I will be able to address them and address them competently from day one. I look forward to the debate.
Thank you. We're not going to do that today. Mr. Santarsiero?
Thank you, Bill, and thank you, Brian, and all of you for coming out. And I want to echo Brian's words. I want to thank especially the young people, college students here at the Bucks County Community College, as well as the high school students. Many of you know that after September 11th, I decided to switch careers. I gave up my legal career and ultimately wound up teaching social studies at Penn State High School. And it was, for me, one of the greatest career moves in my life. I loved teaching, and I saw the promise that next generation has, and it makes me fundamentally optimistic about our future. But I also saw the great challenges that they face in terms of being able to afford a college education, in terms of being able to get a good job when they get out of high school or college. And it's one of the things that has really motivated me to seek office, to serve in the state legislature where I currently serve, and to run for Congress now. Because it still matters that we have people representing us in Washington, no matter how disenchanted we may get with the political system, no matter how dysfunctional it may seem at every level. It matters that we have people who are fighting for that future for those kids, fighting for working families today to make sure that their jobs will still be there and that they will have a secure retirement, and fighting for our seniors to make sure that they will continue to get the benefits that they have earned over the course of their lives. I'm very happy to be here today to have this debate, to have these discussions. This is the most critical election in my lifetime. And I, too, echo the sentiment that it's important that all of us do our civic responsibility and vote. Thank you.
Again, okay, we got it out of our system. For our first question, it's just one word long. You can respond to it in any way you like for 2 minutes. And the word is taxes. Santarsiero?
We need to make sure that our working families do not suffer under crushing tax burdens. I think what we need to do is provide tax cuts to those families. And I think we need to fund it by making sure the very wealthiest people in this country are paying their fair share and that we close loopholes on those earners. You know, you've probably heard from Warren Buffett over the years about how he should not be paying less than his secretary in taxes. And just the other night, we had Donald Trump more or less admit that he hasn't paid federal income taxes. There's something fundamentally wrong with our system when the wealthiest people in this country can take advantage of those types of access to those loopholes and not pay their fair share. One thing I've heard from people across this district as I've campaigned is that they think this system is rigged. They think every part of our system, politically and economically, is rigged. And it's time that we inject fairness into the system and make sure we're doing the right thing for our working families and making sure that everyone's paying their fair share. Because at the end of the day, our tax code, like everything else in our government, should be about fairness. And I think that's one of the main reasons you look at someone like Trump, who's admitted that he's not doing his fair share. That should cause every American to be concerned, and it should cause